While there's currently an obsession with GLP-1s like semaglutide and tirzepatide, and Wegovy and Zepbound respectively, there is an entire universe of signaling molecules, better known as peptides, that have been used by elite athletes, biohackers, and longevity experts in rejuvenative medicine for decades. Peptides are not drugs in the traditional sense. They are actually short chains of amino acids that act as software for your cells, mimicking naturally occurring molecules and hormones in the body. They tell your body to heal a tendon or burn visceral fat or sharpen your focus, for example. But because they aren't marketed by Big Pharma in the same way, the average patient and even many doctors are completely in the dark about these medications. I'm Dr. G. I'm an internist and lifestyle medicine coach. And a quick note before we dive in. This video is for education only and not for personal medical advice. Peptides are powerful biological tools and should only be used under clinical supervision from a qualified provider. Always talk with your clinician who knows you best. In this video, I break down the top 10 non-GLP-1 peptides I have come across in my research and practice as a lifestyle medicine doc. From the Wolverine healing molecule to mitochondrial energy boosters. Let's look at the science of peptides. If you've heard of peptides, which I'm sure you have by this point, you've likely heard of BPC-157. Originally discovered in human gastric juice, this peptide is considered by many as the master healer. It promotes angiogenesis, which is the formation of new blood cells. Why does this matter? Tendons and ligaments and the gut lining itself have notoriously poor blood supply. BPC-157 signals the body to bring resources to the injury site. I use this in my Hollywood clinic for patients complaining of chronic tendonitis or poor gut metabolism issues and post-surgical recovery, for example. It doesn't appear to just mask pain, but also facilitates the process of biological repair of the tissues itself. It's usually provided by a lyophilized, which means freeze-dried powder for reconstitution, or in stabilized oral capsules in the form BPC-157 arginate. And this is for gut issues mainly. Now, for systemic repair, a common subcutaneous dose is 250 micrograms to 500 micrograms twice daily. If you're using the oral stable version for GI repair, the 500 micrograms daily is the standard dose. On to CJC-1295 plus Ipamorelin. This is the most common stack for body recomposition and anti-aging. Unlike synthetic growth hormone, which can shut down your own production, this combination acts as a secretagogue. It actually tells your pituitary gland to release your own natural pulses of growth hormone. And this avoids your pituitary from becoming lazy and shutting down production altogether. We use this to improve deep sleep in the office, increase lean muscle mass, and improve skin elasticity. It's the gold standard for patients over 40 who feel their recovery time is slowed down to a crawl. Typically, a combined injectable solution can be provided for convenience in a 1-to-1 ratio. 5 milligrams of CJC with 5 milligrams of Ipamorelin, or 10 milligrams of CJC and 10 milligrams of Ipamorelin in the vial. The most common protocol is 100 micrograms to 250 micrograms of the blend injected subcutaneously at night, at least 2 hours after your last meal. I typically follow a 5 days on to 2 days off schedule to prevent the pituitary from becoming desensitized and over-signaling. I try not to exceed more than 10 to 12 weeks before taking a month off until the next cycle. TB500 is a synthetic version of thymosin beta-4, while BPC-157 is often used locally for a specific joint. TB500 is used systemically. It plays a vital role in cell migration and actin polymerization. In plain English, it helps cells move to the area where they are needed most to reduce inflammation and repair damage. Often stacked with BPC-157 for a synergistic effect, if BPC is the contractor on the job site, TB500 is the logistics manager, making sure all the materials get to the right location. TB500 typically comes in an injectable solution. Unlike daily peptides though, TB500 is often dosed in a loading and maintenance phase. A common protocol I have found with quite a bit of success with is 2.5 milligrams to 5 milligrams twice weekly for the first 4 to 6 weeks, then dropping to a maintenance dose of about 2 milligrams once weekly. Remember, individualization is always best. This peptide is one of 2 on this list that is actually FDA approved. Tesamorelin has an indication for reducing abdominal fat in specific populations. It is a growth hormone releasing hormone, GHRH analog, And unlike TB500, it actually bypasses the body's production of growth hormone and specifically targets visceral adipose tissue, the hard fat deep in your belly that surrounds your organs. FDA approved for reduction of visceral fat in HIV patients. Visceral fat is highly inflammatory, and Tesamorelin helps reduce that metabolic fire without the side effects often seen with higher doses of other hormones. It's a precision tool for the midsection. And this is important because increased midsection circumference is associated with poor health outcomes and increased chronic disease. It's injectable and often requires a larger volume of diluent than other peptides. Some clinical studies for visceral fat reduction utilize 1 milligram to 2 milligrams daily injected in the evening. Because it is a powerful GHRH, we monitor IGF-1 levels closely every 12 weeks while also cycling the medication for all our patients. So if you care about aesthetics like hair and skin, as well as cellular longevity, GHK-Cu, also known as the copper peptide, is the peptide answer for you. Now, copper peptides are naturally occurring and have a massive affinity for skin and hair health. They stimulate collagen and elastin production while acting as a powerful antioxidant. We see patients using this more and more for its potential to promote hair regrowth and improving skin thickness, removing creped skin. It's also being researched for its apparent ability to reset genes to a more youthful state, what we call epigenetic reprogramming. Copper peptide is available as a deep blue injectable solution or high concentration topical cream or serum. For systemic effects, 1 milligram to 2 milligrams daily via subcutaneous injection happens to be my preferred route of administration. For skin and hair, topical applications are used once or twice daily. I've had patients complain of skin irritation with the cream, so be careful applying copper peptide to the skin. And one more thing, injectable copper peptide can sting a little bit, so we often blend it with BPC 157 to dilute it some and also improve the comfort. MOTS-C is a mitochondrial-derived peptide. This is the future of metabolic medicine. Mitochondria are the nuclear power plants of cells, and MOTS-C acts as an exercise mimetic, meaning it acts like exercise, telling your mitochondria to increase energy production and improves insulin sensitivity directly at the cellular level, as if you were performing exercise. Now, don't get too excited. It doesn't replace exercise. No peptide can do that. But this is a favorite for patients struggling with metabolic inflexibility or fatigue due to their body being reluctant to switch between energy sources. MOTS-C helps the body shift from burning only glucose to burning fat more efficiently for fuel. The actual exercise is up to you. Usually, MOTS-C comes in a lyophilized powder for reconstitution with sterile liquids. And MOTS-C is typically used in cycles. A common protocol is 5 milligrams to 10 milligrams injected once to twice weekly for a period of 4 to 6 weeks, then stopping for 6 to 8 weeks. You can repeat the cycle about 2 to 3 times per year. In an era of immune system concerns, Thymosin Alpha-1, also known as T-alpha-1, is a powerhouse. This peptide is naturally produced by the thymus gland, which has a major role in immune system regulation, especially in younger patients, peaking around puberty. Although its activity declines as we age, the remaining functional thymus helps manage autoimmune regulation, cancer surveillance, and overall mortality. Recent studies have actually shown removal of the thymus, called thymectomy, in adults doubles cancer risk and increases mortality overall. An active thymus helps train your T cells to identify pathogens and abnormal cells more effectively. It doesn't just boost the immune system, it actually modulates it. This makes it potentially useful for both chronic infections and autoimmune conditions where the autoimmune system may be overactive but still very ineffective. T-alpha-1 comes as an injectable solution. And for general immune support, injecting about 450 micrograms to 1.5 milligrams twice weekly is recommended. During acute immune challenges, though, some protocols move to 1.5 milligrams daily for a short 10-day burst for support. Next up is PT-141. Also known as bremelanotide. This is the second FDA-approved peptide on this list, and this one is for sexual dysfunction. Unlike Viagra or Cialis, which work on the vascular system, improving blood flow, PT-141 works on the nervous system. It targets the melanocortin receptors in the brain to increase libido and arousal. It is FDA approved under the brand name Vyleesi. It was approved in June 2019 specifically for the treatment of acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, also known as HSDD, in premenopausal women. It is not FDA approved for men or for treating erectile dysfunction, but I'm sure you can guess it is still being used off-label for both of these purposes in men. Because it bypasses the heart and blood pressure pathways, it offers an alternative for those who can't take traditional ED medications. PT-141 is typically injectable or also comes in a nasal spray. This is an as-needed peptide. The standard dose is 1.5 milligrams to 2 milligrams administered 2 to 4 hours before sexual activity. I recommend starting with an initial half dose, about 0.75 milligrams, to test for nausea, which is a common but temporary side effect of PT-141. Now, AOD 9604 is up next, and AOD stands for anti-obesity drug. It's a small fragment of the growth hormone molecule. It contains the fat-burning section of growth hormone without the growth section. This means it stimulates lipolysis, which is fat breakdown, without affecting blood sugar or IGF-1 levels. It has an incredibly safe profile for those who want the metabolic benefits of growth hormone without the risk of systemic growth signaling. It's a staple in many medical weight loss protocols. The medication comes in injectable or oral troches, which are dissolvable lozenges, and the dosages are around 300 micrograms to 500 micrograms daily, usually injected in the morning on an empty stomach, about 30 minutes before your first meal or your first fasted cardio. Finally, we have Selank, a synthetic derivative of the human peptide Thymosin. By modulating the GABAergic system, it provides a calm focus without the sedation of traditional anti-anxiety medications, like Neurontin or gabapentin. It also increases BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is like Miracle-Gro for your neurons. Used for patients dealing with high-stress environments or brain fog issues. It helps stabilize mood while enhancing memory and learning capacity. Most commonly a nasal spray when it is provided to patients, but can be also injected. Nasal spray protocols typically involve 1 to 3 sprays, approximately 250 micrograms per spray in each nostril, 2 to 3 times per day, depending on the desired level of anxiolytic effect. Now, those are the 10 most popular peptides I've come across, but here is the most important thing you need to hear on this video. Sourcing matters. The world of peptides is filled with research chemicals sold online that are not meant for human consumption. Says it on the bottle. Here in Florida, peptides have actually been made legal to use in the regenerative medicine space, but not to treat any specific disease. There just isn't enough hard evidence yet for any of the claims about what they do in general. You have to be careful where you get the medications and make sure that they aren't contaminated and dosed correctly. I recommend you use peptides sourced from a licensed 503A or 503B compounding pharmacy recommended by your trusted provider. This ensures purity, sterility, and the correct concentration of the medications you are injecting or taking orally. Remember, peptides are not magic pills, not even close, but they are force multipliers for people who have chosen a healthy lifestyle. If you aren't sleeping well, eating clean, moving consistently, managing stress, and paying attention to your mental health, no amount of BPC 157 is going to fix you. If you're ready to move beyond the standard pill for every ill model and want to see if peptide therapy is right for your biology, call our office at 954-932-3269. Let's get a baseline and see how we can optimize your performance. But call only if you are serious about lifestyle modification first. If this deep dive into the world of peptides helped you understand your options, please hit that subscribe button. I'm looking to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this month, and only 20% of you watching this video right now are subscribed. Remember, you can always schedule a one-to-one lifestyle coaching session with me by reaching out to my office. Details are in the description below. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you soon.